Sour Tits Milk Directive!
You imbecile!
Oh, yeah? Oh, fuck! I mean Power Trip Retrospective! That was good. Ow! That's a Power Trip. Ow! That's fair. This is the grief I
It's
caused.
Power Trip Retrospective!
You idiots. I'm sorry.
You imbecile!
I'm sorry, Paul. Power Trip Retrospective, man.
So, today we are going to be reviewing Three Stooges.
We needed a third person.
Oh, where's our Curly?
Maybe
or
I'll
Larry?
superimpose a Shemp or something. Maybe
No,
Kevin.
no,
Kevin
it's
can be our Joe.
Yeah, I think I can be Mo. You can be Curly.
Definitely Larry.
You're Larry?
I got the hair for it.
I suppose
I
you
don't
do.
have the hair for it.
So then we need our Curly.
I'll just throw Kevin in
There you go. Okay.
Boom, nailed it. Joe. Three Stooges, man.
Three Stooges. So
This game sucks. I mean, it's all right.
I have a different opinion than
It
you
doesn't.
do.
It doesn't suck.
So
it's.
So this game came out in 1989. It was published by Activision, and it was actually developed by a company called Cinemaware. Cinemaware. And honestly, from the moment that you put in the game, I actually love the little shtick that they do at the beginning.
I'll give it to you.
Where you push the power button, and the first thing that pops up is the Ghostbusters logo. And then it's the Three Stooges walking in, and literally they say, "Hey guys," or "Hey fellas, we're in the wrong game."
Yeah.
It's like, this looks like a kid's game. You imbecile.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, from that moment, it really. I mean, I don't know how you could make a game based on the Three Stooges better. They didn't really have many storylines that you could work with to make an adequate game. But I think what they did do with the game, while it can be repetitive, I think it's very true to the subject matter of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's not slapstick, or is that? Slapstick?
Yeah, no, that's slapstick.
It's definitely that slapstick kind of thing. You know, the overall. You get the overall aura of
slapstick comedy.
Slapstick comedy in the game.
Where the Three Stooges are doing stuff.
Yeah,
and actually, so the game is a whole bunch of basically mini games into one, where you have to, at each one of these mini games, you can earn some money, and you have to make enough money by day 30, I think it is,
whole month,
to save this orphanage from the banker who is going to take over ownership of the house and kick Ma and her 20 kids out of the orphanage. Which is funny. Fun fact too is that the banker was actually styled after Ted Healy, who was actually he was the guy who actually discovered the Stooges, but they also kind of had to break away from him because he was basically trying to reap the benefits. Knew that these guys were super successful and was trying to just get all that money and kind of screw them over. So,
wow, that's funny.
So Ted Healy was actually modeled, or the banker was actually modeled after Ted Healy for that reason.
I mean, the game throws trivia at you. It throws like cracker eating or oysters or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but a lot of the mini games revolve around actually very iconic scenes or episodes from the Stooges.
Yeah,
one is your doctor, where you have to get your patient to an operating room, which is actually based on the episode Dizzy Doctors. There's
the boxing match.
Yeah, the boxing match, where Curly, I think, was the actual boxer, and he goes nuts every time he hears the song "Pop Goes the Weasel," and so you have to actually get a radio to the boxing match, or you have to get a radio from the radio store and then get back to the boxing match to play it so that he ends up winning the fight.
Yeah.
And there's the cracker eating, which was based off another episode.
The pie throwing.
There's the pie throwing. Yep. The hoi polloi was the actual episode of that, yeah, where they're all throwing pies at the waiters.
I mean, it's
honestly,
it's a clusterfuck of
really
games.
is.
I mean, it's WarioWare before WarioWare.
It really is. So I mean, there's a lot of different stuff. Even the way that you select the games are kind of strange.
Oh yeah, it's like a weird random movement pattern.
Yeah.
There's mouse traps that take your fingers off. It's fucking weird. I mean, you can find random money on the streets.
Yes, you could.
Who the fuck?
That's one of the things that you, that you could do.
Yeah.
But it all goes into that whole 30-day limit that you have. So.
Right. So there we go.
So getting into it. So start by difficulty. What do you give this game for difficulty? It's hard to determine this one actually.
Because it's the goal itself. I don't even think we got the best ending when we played.
We didn't get the best ending. We got the good ending though.
Yeah.
We saved the orphanage and we were able to make the repairs to the house because we had between $10,000 and $19,999.
I don't remember what our final total was. We'll have to.
Yeah, we'll have to see what our total was. But the best ending is 20,000 and more. But
it's such a weird mishmash of trying to figure out what you're doing and then just getting lucky enough in certain things. And it's hard to put a difficulty on it.
Well, I think what the difficult thing is that you have to learn the controls of the game. That's the biggest part because I remember the pie throwing contest thing. That one I sucked at because I just could not get a hang of the controls, and you just completely blasted that out of the water. Like you ended up getting like $2,000 or $3,000 in one event, which was just insane.
What can I say, man? I'm good with pie.
Yeah, there you go.
I definitely eat enough of it.
But it's understanding what the controls are. I think that's the most difficult part. It's not even the fact that you have to get so much money in order to save the orphanage. It's the fact of learning the controls and learning how to do it.
And then even the boxing one, having to run between obstacles.
That one I was good at, but it was difficult because you couldn't tell.
You don't know what the fuck is hitting.
You couldn't tell what grid you were on in order to avoid things, and so it kind of got a little bit dicey there.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
But I would say overall, I don't think that this game is that difficult, but I would still give it, I'll give it below average. I will say 4. Just because I'm going 4 because I think that this game is not impossible. It's easy for the most part if you know what you're doing, and if you don't, you'll learn it pretty quickly enough to where if you're playing it for the first time, by your next playthrough, you'll probably have already learned the controls enough to get the best ending or get at least the good ending.
So you're going to make this game harder than Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu.
Oh, I think it was harder than Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu.
Okay.
I really do think it was, honestly.
And the game definitely drags long enough.
Because it's
test of endurance.
Yeah, because it honestly, I mean, just the fact that you could lose money, too. From
That's true.
The banker and stuff like that.
Yeah, a 4 seems fair.
What were you thinking?
To be honest, I have a blank. I can't even
fathom I think it's 4. I think
it's
it's average, but it's below that average.
I would say a low 4.
Yeah, I would say
maybe 4. No, solid 4. Yeah, all right. I can see it. It's definitely a challenge to get through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's because there's only 5 different events that you do.
I think there's literally only 5 different events that you can earn money on.
I mean, think about it. 5 events, 30 days. Holy shit! You're gonna be playing a lot of events.
Yes. A lot of the same events. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because that's actually one of the things that people complain about the most is that they don't think that it's necessarily a bad game. They think that it was very faithful to the Three Stooges, but it gets repetitive very quickly, which I have to agree with them. It really does get repetitive because there's not much variety to it.
No.
So
and especially when some games are more lucrative than others. So it's really hard to pin down.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all right. I'll concur. 4 feels right.
Okay. So, fun. I think this is where we're going to have differing opinions here. So I'm really curious to hear what yours is going to be.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Well, I did.
Oh, trivia was another one.
I did enjoy the game. It wasn't the worst thing we've ever played. God, I am just spitting everywhere. Not the worst thing we've ever played.
No, it wasn't.
I have to go 4. I'm going to say same as difficult. The game gets a 4. It's repetitive as hell. It's not the greatest looking game, but it didn't look bad for the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, the voices actually weren't that bad.
I think they were digitized from the actual like actors. Like they had taken clips from their actual voices and put them in the game. So it was
The digitized voices were not terrible.
No, they really weren't. For Nintendo standards, that was pretty impressive, actually.
So I'm gonna actually, for fun, I'm sticking with a 4. Solid 4. Same as difficulty.
Originally, I was thinking 5, and I think that it's a little bit because I just have like a nostalgia. Yeah, I have a nostalgia for it just because I remember growing up watching the Three Stooges with my dad. And so just playing the game, but honestly, I think realistically, I do have to give it a 4 as well too, because I don't think there's really much music. Like, there's no variety of music that actually... Yeah, well, that's at the beginning, and then they play the "Pop Goes the Weasel" when you get the radio and you're having to get back to the boxing ring.
Right.
But there's really no music. The game gets extremely repetitive because yes, you have 30 days to play all these different mini games, but you are going to inevitably, that's the word. You are inevitably going to have to play the same game over and over again. And then there's going to be games that you know you're good at, so obviously you're going to just keep playing those games.
Yeah.
And so it just is so repetitive, and there's really not much else to it.
I mean, there's not much else to say. It's repetitive as hell.
Yeah.
It's the very definition of repetitive.
I like the fact that they do keep it very true to the source material, where there's the key scenes of like Stooge shorts where you are doctors or you're being waiters, or the Curly scene where he's trying to get the crackers out of the soup and the clam keeps taking it. So, yeah, so I mean, and then there's even trivia, which was actually really fun to play because, I mean, there was certain trivia answers that I knew and certain trivia answers that I had no idea, and it was just interesting to know. But again, it just wasn't enough to save this game. So
I'm trying to think of what the actually that pretty much sums up this game, is that old saying, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
And it really,
Three Stooges.
It never gets, it never goes different. It's just the same thing. So
at least I think that's the saying. I never.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Yeah, but so I mean, this might be a short retrospective.
Yeah.
4 for difficulty, 4 for fun.
Yep.
What did you pay for this game?
You know what?
I was going to use an adjective and I failed.
Honestly, for this game, I'm trying to remember what I paid for this game, and I want to say it was $2.99.
About to say, this might be the first title you don't remember what you paid.
It was either $2.99 or $3.99. I'm pretty sure.
All right, we'll say $4.
So
what does it go for?
Currently, right now, it goes on price charting today for $7.62. Oof.
Throw it towards Jackie Chan's action.
Kind of right in the middle there. Yeah, if you're a fan of the Three Stooges, like the shorts, and you like Nintendo, yeah, sure, I would say it's worth it to get this game. If you really never grew up watching the Three Stooges and only know them because of like the name,
you will not understand.
Honestly, I would say no, don't get this game. It's not worth it at that point if you don't know it. It's very repetitive. It's very short. There's really not a lot of good music.
I would say
it's funny in the beginning. Like I said, with the introduction, it was great. The sound effects were fantastic, but there's really not much else going for this game.
I would say the most I would ever go is $5.
$5. Yeah, I would say no more than $5. So yeah. So if you're a fan, yeah, give it a try. If you're not, then I would say it's not worth it. Actually, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I really do like the game. But
it wasn't bad.
At the same time, I don't think I would walk into a store today and pay $8 or $7 for it. So.
No, like I said, I'd put it towards something else.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Not longer is not the right word. Just more enjoyable.
Better, more enjoyable, more variety. So.
Well, not much else can be said about it.
No, not really.
So there you guys go. Hit us up on Facebook.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Go to powertripgaming.tv. It takes you right to the channel. You can watch
everything.
Everything, including the Three Stooges playthrough.
The Three Stooges playthrough. And the link will be in the description down below.
I mean, fuck. That's all there is. Three Stooges. That slap was good. That felt good. That threw
you off.
Oh, fuck off.
Told you weren't going to be a expecting it.
Didn't expect it at all. That was I liked it.
Well, that was straight out of the Three Stooges. If you ever watched one,
I have. I actually used to watch it a lot on. I believe it was on Nick at Night, late at night.
Yeah, I think it was
late at night, like when I was younger, and I used to like them. I liked Curly. Didn't care too much for Shemp or Joe though.
Yeah,
I feel like Curly
Joe
was the most iconic.
Oh,
Three
for
Stooge.
sure. Oh, for sure he was.
Yeah.
And another fun little trivia is that Mo and Curly and Shemp were all related.
Really?
Yeah.
They were all actually.
Yep. They were all brothers. Yeah.
Okay. Larry was the only one that wasn't.
Larry was the only one that wasn't. Yep.
Really?
And then Joe, of course, was not. He was later, but Shemp was actually, I think, one of the original Stooges. But then he ended up he was scared of his own shadow, and so he didn't like doing a lot of the slapstick because
they really hit each other.
They did. They really did hit each other.
And then they just threw in sound effects.
Yeah. And then, and so Curly kind of took over the reins, and then Curly, through just kind of his lifestyle, he ended up having a stroke, and so then Shemp had to come back, and so he was the third Stooge for a while, and then Shemp ended up passing away from a heart attack, and then that's when they went through kind of a low point where they couldn't find a replacement, and then they finally settled down on Joe DeRita.
And Joe died too?
I think so, but no. He was. Oh. I think Joe was actually the last one to pass away, and it was like in 1993. So
I remember wasn't there a documentary on the Three Stooges?
There was. Yep.
Yeah.
History of the Three Stooges. Yep. It aired, I think, in 2000 or 2001.
I always wanted to watch that. I remember it was on Hulu way back in the day.
Yeah.
I was meant to watch it.
Michael Chiklis was Curly.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to scrounge that up and watch that sometime.
Yeah, there you go.
I always love watching documentaries on that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I watched a documentary on it was called The Captains, where it chronicled all the Star Trek captains.
Oh, cool.
And how their experience as the captain and all this shit. It was really interesting, actually.
Interesting.
So maybe I'll dig this one up.
Cool.
All right, guys, there you go.
All right. Hope you enjoyed it.
A little weird little tail end.
And a little bit of a history lesson.
There you go, man.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Bye.